All right. Want to introduce my guest. I have Karen Kong, and I'm going to let her reintroduce herself because the first question says, haha, please introduce yourself and the office you are currently seeking.
So, as you know, Jason, my name is Karen Kong. I am seeking re-election for City of Bishop Council.
Okay. All right. That was quick. That was easy. How long have you lived in the area?
So I have lived here since January of 1994, so 30 years.
Wow, you beat me.
I know. Impressive.
Yeah. So I might circle back around after the interview and ask you some questions about that, but
Okay.
we'll stick to the script for the FCC here. What drove you to the decision to run for office?
Well, I had been, for tons and tons of years prior to my initial run in 2020, I had been really attentive to what was happening in the city and watching city council. And once, when I worked for West Star, for those of you who have been here a long time,
Wow.
I would go and I was in charge of filming city council when Smiley Codley and Frank Chrome and all of them were on the council. And I really got interested in it then. And I just had been thinking about it and talking about it. And my family was just like, finally, just do it. Just figure it out. So I waited till I was an empty nester. And then I waited a few more years and then decided it was time to run.
Okay, is this the second run, third run?
This is my second run.
This is your second
My
run.
first run was in 2020 during COVID.
Okay, so you've already been in office, but why do you think at this point in your career that you're the best person to remain in office?
I'm anyone who knows me knows I don't like to toot my own horn, which is kind of anti-politician, I realize.
Yeah,
So
that kind of is.
the best person is a little hard for me to deal with,
Why
but
do you think you're the right person?
I think that I do a good job at
Okay.
city council. I also believe that people know that I will always be forthright and honest and transparent in all of my dealings. That's how I run my life. And so one of the things that I work really hard at as a city council person is making sure that everyone gets listened to and heard, and then taking all of those opinions and all of those thoughts and all of the facts that I get from our wonderful staff and making the best decision possible for the city of Bishop. I am probably one of the only people that I know who don't have some sort of thought process about it ahead of time. I don't have a hidden agenda. I'm not pro this or pro that. I'm pro Bishop. And so that leads me to a lot of different decisions that don't have a sort of hidden agenda behind it.
I like that. Well, moving on, you've already had office, but if reelected, do you have any new plans? I hate to say the word like agenda, but anything, especially since you said you do what's best for Bishop, but do you by any chance have any new ideas that you would like to bring to the city of Bishop if reelected?
Sure. So one of the reasons I decided to run again was because we have managed to amass the absolute best staff. We have all the best department heads. It's just really incredible how wonderful they work as a team and how proactive and forward-thinking they are. And so as part of that, one of the things we're going to do this year is re-look at the park master plan. It was written way long time ago.
Are we talking about the Bishop City Park?
The Bishop City Park
Okay.
has a master plan. Who would have known?
Yeah.
And we haven't looked at it in a while. The funding hasn't been there. We've been doing little bits and pieces of it, trying to make it work. And we're going to re-look at the whole thing. And one of my goals would be to look at the master plan, look at how much we offer park-wise and activity-wise, and really make sure that we are getting our best bang for the buck and we are making the most of our programs that we offer, and see if there's a way within financial resources to offer more things. The example I have is that the day our gymnastics programs open, they're full.
Wow.
And then the way
So we're promoting them and they're already full?
Correct. So we'll say, for example, this last one opened on a Monday, and I went on to look and see how we were doing by Monday after work, 5 o'clock, already full.
Wow.
And so that says to me that the demand is there. So how do we figure out how to fill that demand without stretching our resources beyond capacity?
Well, you kind of already answered that next question, but I have to legally ask you. How are you going to implement those plans?
Implementation is one of those things that is interesting to me. I have always, in my professional life, I've always worked alone. So I come up with ideas, I figure out a way to fund the ideas, and then I do it. And one of the hardest things for me when I got elected last time was the idea that I'm not the doer. You know, that I am the, you know, the financial responsibility, I am the policymaker, and I suggest and encourage, and our staff take it to the next level. And so when you look at implementation of something like a master plan for the park, what does the community want from the park? What do our staff members, what are they going to be able to accomplish? So using my gymnastics example, how are we going to find more people to teach gymnastics so we have more classes, right?
Exactly.
All of those pieces, although I would love to say I could implement them all, it's just not a possibility, right? It is the idea that you take your gleam of an idea and a plan, and you see fiscally and logistically how it's possible to make it happen.
Right. Cool. Well, we made it through the hard questions.
Woo, woo, woo.
All right. Let's do the fun ones. What is one of your favorite things to do in the Eastern Sierra?
So besides all the regular, taking my dogs out to run around and be idiots in the wilderness, I love walking up and down Main Street.
Really?
Yeah, I love it. I love watching the people. I love the tourists. I love the fact that I can't go a block and a half without getting a question from someone. They seem to know I'm a local, so they'll say, how is this restaurant? And how is that restaurant? Is it, what do you think about this? And what do you think about that? And I just love the feel and the vibe that I get from downtown, despite all of the things that we wish we could fix and that we'll work on fixing. It still just has this wonderful energy about it.
Sure does. Talking other things going on, like what are your hobbies?
Hobbies have been a hard thing for me.
Have they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you read.
I do read. I read all the time. I have a book in my car. I have a book in my office.
You're always in Amigos reading.
Exactly.
Isn't that a hobby?
I don't know. I don't think reading is just like education and food for the soul as opposed to a hobby. Maybe that's what a hobby is. I have 2 dogs, and so they take up a lot of energy and effort and time, and I have 4 grandchildren, and so anytime I can get there, I head out next weekend for the 3-day weekend. I'm going to go see my 9-year-old play her first game of volleyball. So I fill my life with my family.
That's awesome. Okay, I blew it here.
Okay, it's not your fault. Okay.
We are learning new songs that we need to add. So what was going to be your favorite classic rock song?
So my favorite classic rock song is Bad Reputation by Joe Jett. Apparently you don't have that in your little stack of things, so you could play any Joe Jett song.